turn this AC down. It's not too bad outside right now, thankfully. To be or not to be? That really is the question, because sometimes we fall asleep and we forget to charge our phones while we're sleeping overnight, and we wake up in the morning and we have 27% battery, and sometimes that's just really translating to real life, because sometimes I wake up and I feel like I only got 27% battery. I'm feeling kind of like that today a little bit, to be honest, despite the smile, but you know, my own personal saga, that's kind of been my shield, my staff, how I get through it. You know, I have to laugh. If I don't laugh, I'm basically gonna die. Like, if I don't laugh, I'm going to die. And that's just how I feel. Especially now as I get older, like, life's not that fucking serious, okay? I know I'm cussing, and I know at some point I'm not going to be able to, but until then, I'm going to be me, 100%. So, welcome to another episode of Vulnerable AF Friday, featuring me, your real, your raw, sometimes crazy, very tangent-driven host, Nicole Michelle. As usual, off the cuff, nothing really planned, but things have been on my mind for sure. My own personal life, things outside of me, things within the world. And those are some of the things that I want to talk about today. And I don't know if we're really going to talk about personal me, but even when I was like, what the fuck am I going to talk about today? How is this going to fucking work? I don't know. It's just, we're going to turn it on and it's going to happen and we're going to do, and that's it. And I kept having this nagging feeling like it's going to come up. Like, your own shit is going to come up today, most likely. As much as I don't want it to come up, because I'm still very much processing it myself, and I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I do know how I feel about it, but I think I worry about the perception of other people. And I shouldn't, because I'll say this much, and maybe we'll circle back around to this, but what I've come to realize is over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in my life, I very much felt like I was not chosen by other people. Whether that's family, friends, whatever the fuck. And I'm not going to say that's everybody, you know what I mean? I was lucky and fortunate enough that I did have some good people in my life. I did have some good people in my corner. And that's probably one of the only things that helped me get through, despite my own stubbornness, right? Like, my own sort of like, you will not defeat me-esque nature, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, but I've been put in a situation where I'm feeling like I'm being asked to choose other people over my own peace, and it's not because I don't care, and it's not because I'm not understanding, and I'm not empathetic, and whatever, but it's just, what does that do to me, and what does that put me through, and am I even in a place to go there, you know? But before we even contemplate talking about my own BS that I haven't really even had time to process, because it all just kind of cropped up yesterday, I wanted to talk about the state of the world a little bit, because I feel like that's kind of the hot topic that's on everybody's mind, and it's noteworthy, right? I don't know about you, sorry about that, I don't know about you, but I'm having a lot of reels pop up about what do you do when the power goes out, and they kill whatever, and they kill this, and what do you do? And I don't think there's anything wrong with being prepared, but I don't really get into the whole, like, fear mongering, you know what I mean? Like, it's a real turnoff for me when people try to sell me some shit through fear. It's just a turnoff for me. I'm not, like, nothing makes me want to buy your product less than you trying to sway me with fear to buy your product. What is going on in this world today? I mean, for real, okay? Like, I literally just had to, like, go into the wrong lane to go around a trash truck that was, like, just stopped in the road. Like, what are y'all doing out here? Can y'all not block everybody who's trying to get to work? Thank you. So, I don't know. It's been one of those kind of weeks. Like, I don't know. Like, yesterday there was some bullshit drama in the world that had nothing to do with me, but still affected me directly, you know, and it's just, the world is crazy. It really is. And also, it's not. It's also, the world is just the world. You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about a lot of fucking things right now. And And that's fine and well and good, and I have no objections to that. Specifically, I think that everybody should be able to be their authentic selves and speak their mind freely and not be persecuted for doing such. But I also, I sort of harken back to my last live where I talked about we don't even know the real truth about things half the fucking time, right? Like, was 9/11 really a terrorist attack? I don't know. I'm not trying to be out here being all conspiracy theorist, okay? I know this is about healing, but these things these events cause trauma, okay? And that's what I'm here to work on. I'm here to get people to work on their trauma, to face their trauma, to see that it can be done, to see that they can show up messy, to see that they can show up unpolished, to see that they can simply exist as themselves and they're not going to die and the world is not going to crumble and burn, even though the powers that be would want you to think that, you know what I mean? And whether there's war or there's not war, I honestly, I know this is gonna rub people the wrong way, I honestly could care less. You know what I mean? Because as much as there's strife and whatever the fucking war, there's so much beauty, and the art that comes out is real as fuck, more real than a lot of the shit that we see these days, and I'm with that. So I mean, I don't want war, but it's been ongoing. There's been wars. Like, you can be afraid of war, but we already been in war. We've been in war for a long time. We've been in spiritual war. We've been in, you know what I mean? Everything's a battle. We've been at war with ourselves. And that's really what I want to touch on is, you know, we don't have time to worry about the wars that we can't control. We need to worry about the wars that we have say in, the wars that we carry with ourselves, the wars that we carry with others, regardless of why that war exists. You know what I mean? I would much rather have resolution with the people that I'm personally at war with than not, but sometimes it's hard. You know, it's you can understand how it can be difficult to come to some sort of a peaceful resolution when there's so much involved in why things are even at odds to begin with, you know. And I think that we all could serve humanity better if we worked on the war within ourselves first and worried about the rest of the world last. And I think a lot of people turn to what I refer to as virtue signaling because it gives them some semblance of control. It gives them some semblance or imagination of, I'm helping, I'm doing something. If I'm saying go team go for this team over here and I'm defending them, and you know, but are you really? You know what I mean? How much of it is your own personal research? How much of it is your own personal intuition that's going into what it is that you're championing? How much of it is it really you? And how much of it is really programmed? And that's the thing, you know what I mean? I think that I'm one of those people, I try to be open to everything. I try to be open to everything. even if it like makes me raise an eyebrow, even if it makes me letting this dude get in front of me, even if it makes me shy away, cringe, whatever the fuck, even if I initially reject it, I never rule it out, right? Because I'm like, what if there's truth to it? And my wounds and my traumas and my whatevers just won't let me see it, won't let me get close enough to even explore it or examine it. You know what I mean? And so I try to stay open. I think I've made some unconscious agreement, contract, I don't know, with the universe that's like, put whatever the fuck you want across my desk and I will decipher what the fuck it means. You know what I mean? And when I say desk, like in my mind I have like this spiritual, galactic, I don't know, like wherever my soul resides, okay, in here, out there, wherever the fuck, is this sort of like a desk in the sky, not fully formed, but it's just where things go by, you know, reels, whatever the fuck it is, real life situations, my own thoughts, my own questions, random, you know, intuitive hits, and it just all, and I'm like, just give it to me. Give give me the information they fucking won't. Give me the information that the people in power wish to keep from me. Give me that information. And I'm challenging you right now in this moment to do the same. And see how your life changes. And see how your thoughts change. And see how your reality changes. And the things that you thought that you knew. The things that you used to believe. Do it. Tell the universe, I know nothing. I fucking know nothing. Please show me. Please show me. Show me what they won't show me. Because what's happening for me is I'm seeing, and of course it's the internet, and who knows what really can be true. And I think we've been primed to be deceived multiple kinds of ways. And this is why I think the inner work is more important than the outer work. Because in here, you know what's true. You know what the fuck is true in here. You don't know what the fuck is true out there. It's an unknown variable. You don't know. But I've been seeing people popping up, talking about this whole situation overseas, saying that, you know, people there in Iran they're in their homes all the time. They're basically living under dictatorship, and some of them are relieved that they're potentially going into war because this may mean freedom for them. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not true. But when the fuck have we ever been really told the truth, okay? Freedom of Information Acts. What have we learned from them? That our own government would soon burn us to the ground for their agenda, then tell us the fuck truth and let us make a decision. Bro, let me get my tinfoil hat. Hold on. Let us make a decision, an informed decision for ourselves. They work for us. Why the fuck are they making all the shots and keeping all the information from us? Where's the transparency? And without that information, so many people go into these rages and these virtue signaling, like, oh, I'm fucking Superman, look at this S on my chest, I'm here for you, I'm an ally this, I'm a fucking, you know, safe place that, and da. Why don't you create a safe place within yourselves? Create a safe place within yourselves. Because that is going to project into the outside world. And that is what the fuck the world needs. The world doesn't need you fucking waving some fucking flag. The world doesn't need you fucking on social media, fucking this, that. Like, no, we need you to do you. We need you to tap in with your authentic self, not the cog they told you the fuck to be. And so let's start there before we get all worked up in what's going on in other places that we have no control or say in, even though we should, okay, but we don't. The reality is we don't. So what do we do? And that's the whole purpose of this channel, is like, what do we do when? What do we do when we don't get the apology we need? What do we do when we don't get the accountability from the people that we need? What do we do when we can't be accountable? What do we do when we can't love ourselves? What do we do then? What do we do then? When the only power and control that we have is over the vessel that we have been bestowed, that we have been blessed with, that we have been given. This is a fucking gift. You may not know it, like it, see it, believe it, what the fuck ever. Once upon a time, I did not either. But this, people driving around me probably think I'm like Tourette's or some shit. This is a gift. This is a gift. What the fuck are you doing with it? And what the fuck are you going to do with it? Are you going to champion the narratives of other people? Or are you going to show up the fuck authentically like you were meant to, with the gifts that you specifically have, the things that only you can bring to the table? Oh my Lord, what is with this traffic? Bro. So, I'm just saying, you know, and I know this is like a tough conversation, and I'm not trying to be hard on anybody. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, okay? I do a lot of thinking. I've always been very introspective because I've had to be. I would go inward to escape the external because the external was so uncomfortable. The external felt so dangerous. And that's what survival does. Survival drives you inside because that's where the light is that keeps you going. And they almost did my shit. There have been times I've contemplated, what are they, unaliving, right? Because we can't say suicide, right? We can't say the words. Like, who dictated this? This will always be a thorn in my side. Who dictated that people that have been victims, people who have been through struggles, who dictated that now we have to use all these soft words? And I get it. There are people that can't handle hearing these things, but that's bizarro world to me. To think that, and it's not about not caring about people, okay? It's not about not caring. It's not about that. Obviously, I care. I care enough to keep showing the fuck up. Even though I'm unpolished as fuck, I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the point. The point is just show the fuck up. Show the fuck up meaningfully. Show the fuck up authentically. Show the fuck up in a way that you feel called to show the fuck up. Not, oh, well, I have some unhealed wounds and I see person A over here struggling in their own, you know, saga, whatever their situation is. And because I know that feeling, which is wonderful, it's wonderful that you can empathize. Because I know that feeling, I have to stand up for them. Because I know that feeling of being a victim, because I know that feeling of being less, I have to stand up for this person. And the only way that I can stand up for this person most times is I'm going to get online and I'm going to post some kind of picture that says that and I'm guilty of it. Like, me sitting here saying this is not me condemning anybody. I'm guilty of this shit. I've had these realizations of like, bitch, that ain't shit. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You're avoiding the real fucking work out here pretending like you really doing something for the world. And you're not. And that's why I'm here. Because I have to really do something for the world. Because that is how I feel called to show up. I was given the gift to write. I was given the gift of storytelling. I was given these gifts. And what am I doing with them if I'm not sharing them? What am I doing with them if I'm not trying to use them to create inspired action? I'm not here to influence. I'm here to encourage. I don't care if I'm fucking liked. I don't care what people have to say about me. I mean, I do, but I don't. The people that I care about, I care what they think about me. But most people, you ain't gonna get a lick in on me, okay? Some fucking hater ass troll can come in my comments right the fuck now and be like, this, that, and the other about me, trying to call out things that they think I'm gonna feel real fucking sensitive about. But let me let y'all know, okay? There is nothing a person can do that can be meaner than what I've said and done to myself, or the shit that's already been done to me, that I've already started to heal and I've already come to terms with. You know, my life has been hard, but it's, in a lot of ways, it's built me like stone. And you're not going to easily penetrate this, and you're not easily going to say, Mom, I might reconsider things. And let me also preface this with, well, I guess we're past the preface, aren't we? Let me include that I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. And this is not me. I'm not out here. This is I don't even want to call it informational. This is experimental. Okay, experimental. We don't call this informational. It's experimental. And I'm just out here trying to do what I feel called to do. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, and sometimes I don't really want to do it, but I still feel the call to show up. And in the past, because this is all new on YouTube, I have a whole plethora of other videos that I had already done on Facebook where I'm talking about, you know, this is just me kind of shouting into the void and calling, showing up the way I feel called. And that when I don't listen to that calling, things start to fucking get fucky in my life. Things start to get uncomfortable, unhappy, unproductive. Like, I'm just not enjoying it. And when I do follow that calling and I show up the way that I feel called to show up, I've noticed that my life tends to get better. So you tell me. I'm just saying, life is a fucking experiment. I gotta get all the F-bombs in now, because I know someday I'm not gonna be able to. I do see this channel growing despite how small it is now, because I feel it in my being. And I know there's going to be a day where I'm not going to get away with cussing, and I'm going to be sad. And I know there are people that feel a certain way about cussing, and they think, oh, you're unintelligent because you're dropping F-bombs. No, I'm just animated, okay? I'm not unintelligent at all. I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I'm also not the dumbest, and I'm just very animated, and I'm very passionate, and it matters. It matters. You know, you matter. I matter. Our souls matter. Our life matters. And when I say that, I don't mean it in a way of championing some fucking movement or agenda or whatever the fuck. I say it as, if we focus on us, right, the mind is so powerful. And when we live in a world of fear, of anxiety, of all the things that we don't want, that's what we get more of. You know, there are some days, do I struggle? Yeah, but I also have some days where I'm like, bitch, you're a warrior. Even on those days I'm struggling, you're a fucking warrior and you came here to do fucking work, so you best get to it. We ain't got time to be sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves. We ain't got time to be sitting here, you know, trying to understand the world and figure it out. You got enough of the world within yourself to figure out, resolve, heal, transmute. Okay, like we don't gotta be out there to have a purpose and a meaning and to matter. We don't gotta be out there. This matters the most. This matters the most. And if it didn't, we wouldn't even have wars. If it didn't, they wouldn't be trying to control us. If it didn't, we wouldn't have these fucking lockdowns and martial law and whatever. And this is what is feared the most. This is what this and wherever the soul, wherever you are, that's what the fear is. That is, I don't want to say weapon because it's not a weapon, but it is. You know what I mean? And the awakening, the true awakening, not being woke, people waking the fuck up for real, is the fear of the people in power that are creating the agendas where we're even having to go to war with people and we're even having to do whatever, and I'm just not with it, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be out here bashing people, right? Like, I've seen so many posts about people talking about, oh, well, you should go get those MAGA people and this, and I'm not any of those people. I'm all of and none of those people all at the same time, okay? I've been on both sides. I've seen how, you know, like, you don't feel satisfied on this side, so then there's a shift, a giant shift to this side, and then you find yourself unsatisfied, and we just go back. It's like ping pong. We just go back and forth, back and forth. So when are we going to realize, as the creator beings that we are, as my friend Stephanie, who does Frequency Fridays, so she has a video coming up on YouTube right now, not right now, but soon, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock Central Time is my time. She's whatever her time is, I don't remember. But anyway, at what point do we start to realize our place is here, centered within ourselves, not choosing a side, choosing ourselves, right? That's where the peace is, when we choose ourselves. That doesn't mean we can't be there for other people. It doesn't mean we can't help other people. It doesn't mean we can't have sympathy and empathy for other people. But when we're not even being given proper information and there's nothing that's transparent, and all these power plays that are happening that we have no say in, no knowledge of, no control over, or we appear that we have no control, right? We have to realize the control and the power is all here. And that is my goal and my purpose and my mission, is to wake people through healing and recognizing you're not going to change a person that's not healed. You're not changing anybody that's not healed, and you're not changing anybody through shame, and you're not changing anybody through guilt, and you're not changing anybody because you're angry because they didn't do what you think they should do, and so now you're just not going to talk to them necessarily. You know what I mean? Let's reserve the no contact for people that actually have real beef and issues, not because your fucking feelings are hurt because your parents voted for Trump. Okay, let's conserve the no contact for people that actually had trauma and PTSD and what the fuck ever. Okay, like, let's not, my feelings are hurt, so I'm not going to talk. Don't be petty. Okay, don't be petty. If that's the only thing, if they were good parents to you and the only thing is because they think differently, then who's to say they're wrong? Just because they don't agree with you doesn't make them wrong. And just because they don't agree with you doesn't make you wrong either. You know? So, I think that's really all I have to say. For me to continue, just be essentially beating a dead horse. I'm not going to talk about me today. I've decided we'll reserve that for after I've had a chance to speak with my therapist. And then we will talk about it. But it's very ironic that just the order of operations going on for me in my own healing journey, and I do look forward to discussing it with you. I need my time with it first before I'm just out here blurting it to the universe and the entirety of the internet. Okay, so just some things we need to keep under wraps until it's time to actually discuss those things. So remember, if you can't stand nobody fuck else today, please stand yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be loving with yourself. Life is not one size fits all. You don't have all of the information all of the time. And you are all that you can control. And what you do in here reflects out into the world. If you're angry, that reflects out into the world. If you're anxious, that reflects out into the world. If you're artistic, that reflects out into the world. And that's the way it is. And what you think is what you become. What you think is what your reality shapes into. So if you want peace, start here, because this is the power. This is the generator. This is it. And it's a gift that was given to you, whether you realize that or not. It's a gift that's been given to you. And you may feel like, I don't even want to fucking be here. And I get it, because I've had those feelings too. But once I was able to work through some of my shit, excuse me, and follow where my intuition led me, right? My intuition led me. I know I'm wrapping up. This is classic me. End it and then don't end it, okay? So just know, let me let you know this is how it is. And then I'll do another ending, because maybe that's just what you need. Maybe today you just need to hear it twice. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow of what I feel, and that's how it is. So, but yeah, my personal, we'll give you a real quick story time. My personal situation, grew up in a lot of dysfunction. There was a lot of alcoholism on both sides of my family. There was, in my opinion, a lot of mental disorder and abuse, neglect, abandonment, all these things. Things that went unchecked, things I was never treated for, things that I was just made to carry in silence and go through life like a normal person. And you can imagine that did not shape out too well and caused a lot of problems. And there were times I didn't want to be here, and there were times that I contemplated how I could not be here. There were times that I hurt myself and all that stuff, and I struggled for a long time, you know. So all this stuff happens as I'm a child, and then I'm growing up with this, and you know, you get away, you move away, you think, and you get older, you're into your 20s, and you're like, why isn't it better? Like, I've left that, why isn't it better? Because it lives within you. It's part of who you are. And you can change it, but you have to make the conscious choice to change it. There's no wham, woe is me, why isn't life getting better? There's, okay, this shit isn't working, Nicole, and what are we going to do about it? Okay, we've been playing plan A over and over and over. Poor me, I'm a victim. Poor me, I'm a victim. Why is this happening to me? Nothing works out for me, yada, 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 yada. We've done that plan. We've done that plan for decades. And we're not better, and we're not happy, and we're not enjoying life, and we don't want to be here. Like, we don't want to end it, but we don't want to be here. You know, I had those feelings, and they were strong for years. And one day I learned about the potential benefits of plant medicine. And it took 4 years after I even learned that to get my hands on plant medicine. And then I did the plant medicine, and I think that it definitely made a tremendous improvement in my overall well-being. And are we having another standoff today? Because I don't have time for this. I don't have time for all of you unhinged lunatics. But traffic ain't moving, and I gotta get somewhere. So oh, I see the lights are out. Okay, the lights are out, and we don't know how to treat lights like a stop sign, apparently. So we're gonna figure out another route. And that's it. See, like, I could see her stuck being mad and fucking pissed off, but why? Well, how is that going to serve me and benefit me? It's not. It's just not. You can go right. I don't know what you're waiting on, but you can go right. You can 100% go right. So yeah, I found my own path, and I still have work to do. I still have fucking tons of work to do. So I'm not out here trying to be like, oh, I'm the end all, know all, be all. I'll say this in every video till the day I die, till the day I'm out of breath, till the day I stop making this series, whatever the case may be. But, oh my God, can you please figure out your life? But, oh my gosh, this light's out too. Why? Why? Tell me why. It's just life though, right? When I have moments like this, and we're gonna go off on a tangent, when I have moments like this where I'm getting frustrated because I need to be somewhere, but external forces are preventing me from doing so, I think about shit like 9/11, like the people that weren't in the building at the time, and the things that, you know, we're programmed to think we're not allowed to be late, we're not allowed to be sick, we're not allowed. I don't know about y'all, but my generation, definitely, it was beat into us that we have this like enormous sense of responsibility for what the fuck we do in our lives. And people didn't believe in sick days, and people didn't believe in you showed up, and that was it. And I'm gonna scooch on up here because I'm so confused about what's happening even. Like, oh, that's funny. I just like I've never gone that route, and I just kind of circumnavigated a little bit of that, and I'm going right up here, so maybe it won't be too terrible. But it is what it is. I'll get there when I get there. I'm safe and sound. I'm in one piece. I mean, I just look at it like that. Like when I reflect on my life and I see all the things that have happened, and where I'm at and how I got here and kind of what I've become, and I've heard the feedback of other people who are so surprised and impressed that I am who I've become, and that I didn't let my past, even though there was a while where I was on track to let my past completely ruin my life, I didn't let it. I was like, no, this ends with me. This stops here. We're not carrying this any further. We're done. I will heal this. I will heal the shit that nobody else wanted to heal. And I will just do it because that's what needs to be done. So, but yeah, I did the plant medicine, and literally I felt like it turned over a new leaf for me. It helped me to feel connected. I felt very disconnected from people. I felt very disconnected from humanity. I felt very disconnected from my family. I felt disconnected from my own body, you know, which why wouldn't I? I spent probably years dissociating and trying not to exist in reality because reality was too uncomfortable and painful and dangerous. So why would anything else happen, right? And that's that self-love. That's me recognizing my own struggles and saying, hey, how could this not have been the outcome? And because there was no way for this not to be the outcome, how do we lovingly help ourselves through this? How do we overcome this? How do we battle this? How do we, you know what I mean? How do we find a way to not let it continue to destroy us? And how do we find a way to move forward in life? Because I know I deserve more than what I have. I know I deserve more than how I've been living. I know that I'm meant to do more than sit here and act like I'm this victim and just be stagnant. And that's one thing my aunt used to tell me. My aunt, who I view as my mom, who's no longer with us, and I'm grateful for her every fucking day. I'm grateful that she was one of the few people that was able to show me unconditional love, even though I will admit at the time I don't think I was capable of really receiving it. But I went off on a tangent there and lost my spot, but that's okay. We're just gonna kind of wrap it up. I navigated the traffic. I cut through the parking lot. That's the thing. Like, sometimes you have to be like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. Where's the solution? Where's the solution? You can't focus on the problem. Where's the solution? That's going to change your life. That's going to change the world. Where's the solution? Not here's the problem, and we're gonna wave the flag about the problem. What's the solution? Because that's how you begin to move the needle out of the problem. And as long as you're sitting here being like, I'm a safe place and I'm a champion this, you're holding the needle in the problem. Bringing awareness to the problem, well and good. What do you do then? Then what? Then what? Then what? Then what? I should just title this, Then What? Then what? What's next? So remember, if you can't say nobody fuck else today, please stand yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because that is what's going to reflect and radiate out into the world. And when you can love yourself, you can love others. And when you can be kind to yourself, you can be kind to others. No matter what the fuck they're doing, no matter how much they're getting on their fucking nerves, your fucking nerves, if you can stand yourself and you can figure out how to stop raging this war within yourself and liking yourself and loving yourself. And I'm sure some people don't need to hear this, and if you don't hear this, you're probably not here anyway. But for the people that need to hear this and need to know this, need to understand this, the people that didn't feel love, the people that felt like a burden, that's a big trigger for me, feeling like a burden. I don't like to feel like a burden. You know what I mean? The people that felt like that, this is who this is for. So that you can see that there is a life beyond that. There is an existence beyond that. There is happiness beyond that. You know, happiness is to be cultivated, not dropped in our laps. Okay? So be good, be kind, and take care.